Hello, hello, friends. Mark Holmes here, my buddy Cowboy Jobu, and as always, thank you guys for watching and subscribing. Hello, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Jobu, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Jobu Sports Report. Because without you guys, this would be nothing. Seriously, it would be nothing without you guys. And I appreciate all of the comments, all of the input that you guys give. It is just wonderful. And here we are with the Los Angeles Raiders. Excuse me. God, Oakland has moved so much you can't even get the name right anymore. The Oakland Raiders moving to Las Vegas. I mean, how cool is that? Now, I feel bad for the Oakland Raider fans because they know for the next 2 seasons, 3 seasons, that the Raiders will be there, but they're leaving. So, do they stay tied into them? Do they stay fans of them? Do they follow them to Vegas? But some of the comments I've been hearing are people like, oh, well, people in Vegas, they're not really football fans. They're not really going to support them and yada, yada, yada. But see, here's what I know. With the Dallas Cowboys, having AT&T Stadium, basically the eighth wonder of the world when that first opened up, what you'll notice is the Cowboys didn't have a home field advantage. Why? One, the stadium is so incredible that there's so many different things you can do, because you've got the girls, the dancing girls, you've got, the cowboy cheerleaders, you've got people in cages, you've got the drums going on, you've got clubs all over there, you've got Victoria's Secret stores there, you've got all the shops. There's so much you can do besides just watch the game. Focused in on the game. When you go to someplace, Oakland, Anyone else like TJ Watt? Okay.
Whoa, it's time for the Benet Embry Show.
Oh, I guess we're back on. Wow. Okay. Sorry about that, guys.
Hi, I'm Lisa.
Had a little technical difficulty there. I didn't realize it finally came back up. Forgive the brain fart here, but the internet, for whatever reason, decided to crash tonight and kind of messed up the whole situation there. I apologize. So hopefully didn't lose a whole lot of you guys. Hopefully we'll be all right. Well, hello, Jackie. Hello, Robert A. Man. Shallow Hal. How about them Cowboys? I guess I didn't lose you guys. You guys are some really loyal fans. Sin, man, dude. What time is it over there in Germany, man? You are always here, man. I appreciate it. Bobby Johnson, Jason, Dr. Blue. Okay, so now that I'm completely effed up for my whole show and spiel here, I was talking about Vegas and how exciting it would be to go see a game in Vegas. If the Dallas Cowboys are playing the Oakland Raiders, you know that that stadium, which will be built over the course of the next 3 years, will be completely off the chain. I mean, think about the stuff they normally do with Vegas. You know, imagine what a football field will be like, a whole football stadium. So to be able to go there, gamble, get your eat on, get your gamble on, do all those things, and see the Dallas Cowboys, sign me up. I'll be there, and I guess it won't be for 8 years since we play them this year in the Black Hole. So this will be the last time we ever play in the Black Hole in Oakland. But back to our Dallas Cowboys. I did a video yesterday about Jordan Willis from K-State. One of the guys that the Dallas Cowboys in. A lot of people have been saying, Mark, I want you to do a mock draft. Well, I'm not going to do mock drafts. To me, mock drafts are just a waste of time. And as much as I wish I had all kinds of time, I don't have enough time to sit here and try and figure out what Cleveland's going to do, what Denver's going to do, what all these teams are going to do, because there's no way in the world that you can get it right. Mike Mayock doesn't get more than 25% on average. And they put out 10, 15 of them, mock draft, 250.1. It's really just a waste of time. So I'd rather focus on the players that we have might get. So I'm going to start saying some of the players that I think the Cowboys are interested in and the ones they're looking at. And I can't remember who said this, but this was the dumbass comment of the week. And I kind of have to agree with it, because I had a person give me hell because they said if I have inside information about who the Dallas Cowboys are interested in, that I need to keep it to myself because the other teams will be watching and taking a cue from me. So should I take that as high praise that that person thinks that I know that much about what the Dallas Cowboys are actually going to do, and that teams are watching and following and going to react because of me? I would love to think that, but the one thing I do definitely think about is that Jobu needs a refill. And we're going to go back to his blue shot. And a lot of people have been wondering, what the heck is that? Well, what it is a coconut rum. Very smooth, very light, very tasty, actually. And this good old, I can't pronounce it, Sriracha. And you put a quarter of that in there. It's very smooth, very tasty, and very Dallas Cowboy color-wise. So that's what Jobu's having for a little extra mojo for the season. But something I did want to show you guys, because like I was saying, I've been working on different players that I would love to see the Dallas Cowboys get. Yesterday's video was about Jordan Willis, and like I was saying, 6'4", 260 pounds, ran a 4.53 in the 40. Now, I always say, when you're watching the combine, understand it's a tool. It's a tool that'll give you an idea of what a player can do. But generally speaking, it's kind of like when you take the SATs. You practice for the SATs. You study for the SATs. But generally speaking, once you're done with the SATs, most of it is not really relevant to what you do the rest of your life. And that's what it is when you start talking about the vertical leap. Yes, a guy can jump. Yes, a guy can run a 40 real fast. But if you're a defensive lineman or an offensive lineman, generally you're living in a space of about 4 or 5 yards. So really it's that burst that's more important than a shuttle run. And the bottom line is, can the guy play? Because a lot of times you'll see a guy who's a workout warrior, just looks like an absolute beast. I mean, he's an Adonis. You know, you get quarterbacks that are 6'4". They've got this great build, you know, a cannon for their arm, and they get to the NFL. And if you look back, go look back at highlights of Tom Brady at the combine. I think he ran a 5.3 40. He looked about as far from an NFL quarterback as anybody could. Yet, the man's got 5 rings. So be cautious when you see the stats for players. However, 6'4", 260 with a 4.53, guy's fast. I'd like to see him with a few more pounds on him, 39-inch vertical leap. But when I saw film, and you can look back at the tape I have of him, he shot out of a cannon, keeping his shoulders square to the line. He's got good-sized hands, and he's relentless to the ball carrier. Keeps his shoulders squared up. You know, a lot of things that I like seeing, and you put him on a pro level with good coaching, he'll be able to take another step. Now, another one, I'll probably finish the video and stuff tonight, possibly, if I'm not too tired after I finish Benay's show and live streaming with you guys, is from Ohio. Dude is another beast. Now, both of these guys, the Dallas Cowboys, are bringing in for interviews. And with this defense being heavy on the defensive side, there's a good chance that they could get one or the other of these guys or some other guys that are similar to them. But let's watch some highlights here of him. And I got to tell you, guy is a beast. Oh, let's, I'm just like all screwed up tonight. Hang on. Let's get this straight here. And bada boom. Now, what you'll notice about this guy is he's got a motor. Now, he runs about a 4.7, but he's still really, really quick, and he doesn't give up. And when he gets there with his 10 1/4 inch hands, when he grabs you, you've been grabbed. You're not going anywhere. And he will beat you down. He's enthusiastic. I love some of the early moves that he has where he keeps himself square. He can jab, come back inside. He does spin moves. Definitely a guy you'd like to have on your team. Kind of reminds you of David Irving on some of those moves. And this is just brutal. Just brutal. Ouch. So, yeah, he's that good. So I'm excited about these guys. Hopefully we'll have a shot to get one of them. 27 sacks in his college career, 152 tackles. Like I said, he's got a 4.7 40, 31-inch vertical leap. He's relentless. He plays with a little bit of attitude, and he can deliver a blow. That's the kind of guys you want on that defense. Now, let me look at some of the questions and stuff here. Bear with me, guys. I'm sorry about the internet going down and messing up the whole situation. Hey, Jackie. Hey, Blake. Hey, Sarah. Sarah, you're always here. Nick, say what? Okay, I'll get to Watt's brother later on, man. What I'm going to do is I'll try to each day do another one of these highlight films of players that the Cowboys are interested in or possibilities that we may draft. So keep every day looking for these things and keep subscribing. And what I was going to say to you guys is, with the season being the way it's been, with the way this channel has grown, it's been unbelievable. And on the day that the Raiders move to Las Vegas, we busted through 7777. I should play that number, 7777. It's got to be good luck somehow. But it won't be long before we're at 8,000. Maybe we'll get to 9,000 before the draft. And I want to thank each and every one of you guys for it because it's just been unreal. Angel, how are you doing? Oren, Reckless. Well, defensive end. See, here's the thing. For me, Edison, a lot of people say, oh, you got to get a cornerback. But anybody who's watched my show knows that maybe it's because I played defensive line. I believe you win football through the trenches. For years, our offense kept going for the TOs, the Roy Williams, the Miles Austin. We would go ahead and spend a lot of money on the quote-unquote skill players and end up getting older guys or castaways on the offensive line, which basically got Tony Romo beat to death. Didn't give him enough time to be able to use those weapons correctly. The turnaround for the team was they realized the line out. And once we got that line, all of a sudden, DeMarco Murray came fantastic. Tony Romo had enough time because the running game was going, so he could hit people. And you were able to control the clock and help out your defense. So they learn on the offense. It's from the offensive line out. Same lesson for the defense. Sure, we can get a great cornerback, but here's the problem. It's not like it used to be where you'd have one or two wideouts. Now you got 5 receiver sets. You've got all this quick hitting stuff. So one cornerback still leaves 3 or 4 other guys that are out there to be covered. And if you don't have a pass rush to slow down, to speed up that play, then the rest of these guys are going to get slaughtered. And that's where, from the line out, comes into play. Because if you can get a pass rush, if you can get guys that can get there 2.5, 3 seconds, as opposed to what the Packers were able to do, 7, 8 seconds of play. I don't care if you got Dion out there. If the quarterback has 7 to 8 seconds to pass, they're going to complete passes on you. It's just a fact. So you have to start with the line, with that pass rush. Take a look at the Giants, and I hate using teams that I hate as examples, but the years that they won Super Bowls, their defensive backs weren't the greatest of defensive backs. You didn't have shutdown corners like Darrelle Revis and things like that. You had guys like Jason Sehorn. But they were able to play well because the defensive line was getting the quarterback, making them uncomfortable, making mistakes. That's where we are. And I don't believe that our cornerbacks were that bad. I think the problem was we just could not get enough pressure. We couldn't get the sacks. And I wish I could remember the exact numbers on this, but there's a stat where basically almost every Super Bowl team over the last 25 years, I think, has had 47 or more sacks in a season. Just about all of them. Like I said, don't quote me like that, but the stat is something like that. We haven't sniffed 40 in forever. We got 36 this year, which is far better than what we've done over the last 4 or 5 years because, we've been in the 20s. And until we get that sack number up, defense is just not going to be there. You've got to build with that defensive line first. But then again, what do I know? I'm a guy with a voodoo doll and a day job. Well, True Blue, everybody's got doom and gloom on our defense. I'm looking at Brandon Carr. See, Brandon Carr, you can't say he was exactly spectacular. He was good and consistent, but he's not the be-all, end-all. Morris Claiborne never has been. I'm not sure he ever will be. So you can't really say losing him has made much of a difference or will make that much of a difference. Now, Nolan Carroll, I know we've got the Eagle trolls out there that are laughing and saying, you signed that bum. But see, he was in the wrong kind of system there in Philly. He's a press corner, which is the kind of defense that we play. And I think he will do better than he did in Philadelphia, where he had to do more man-to-man, because we are more of a zone type of a defense. So we'll see what happens. And that's another reason why I say Stephen Pia. I'm actually excited about him because if you look at his numbers when he played with Chicago in that 4-3 defense under Rod Marnelli, I keep wanting to say put the T in there, and forgive me if I put the T in there, but it's just the way I frickin' talk, okay? And I probably will always put the T in it. Sorry. Just can't get it right. He went to Washington, the dumpster fire that they are, and played in a 3-4. And if you don't really know the difference, generally speaking, a 3-4 means you have 3 defensive linemen. They're usually bigger guys because their job is basically to hold up and read and react with the offensive linemen. A 4-3 is 4 defensive linemen, and basically they're smaller, quicker guys that basically are gap control or have a spot to go to. So you're using more speed than strength. And that's Stephen Pia. Stephen Pia is a fast guy who can shoot the gaps, make moves. These guys, Jordan Willis, Terrell Besham, both of these guys are speed guys that will fit that defense. And if you can get a guy like that, that's going to help the defense. All right, so we lost J.J. Wilcox and we lost Church. Those two, I think, are going to hurt more than any of them. Terrell McClain, player, part of that rotation, not by any stretch of the imagination a team killer. Same thing with Jack Crawford, another good guy, but we're only talking about 6 sacks between all the guys we lost. It's not like we had a lot of sacks to begin with. Now, what you start looking at is, now that some of these other guys are gone, what does David Irving do? David Irving, coming on as the season progressed, was only a part-time player. You start getting him more reps. He starts learning more and more. He may take a step up. You put Stephen P. in there. He may take a step up. You hope that DeMarcus Lawrence, having the back surgery early, will get back to where he was 2 years ago. If he does, all of a sudden, okay, that's a nice move. You get one of these young guys in the draft. Generally speaking, it usually takes 2 or 3 years for a pass rusher to really develop, but maybe you get to 3 or 4 sacks or 5 sacks in the season. All of a sudden, now you get another guy in that rotation. Where I'm going with this, we have some decent parts. Linebacker, Sean Lee, best season of his career. Been playing lights out the last 2 years, very rarely getting injured. In fact, did not get injured at all this season, only nicked up the year before since he met Jobu. It's kind of interesting, and wanted to take Jobu home. I'm not taking credit. Jobu's not taking credit for that. I'm just pointing that out. That after Sean Lee met him and wanted to take him home, asked him to stay healthy, he stayed healthy. But Sean Lee, fantastic linebacker. And if Jalen Smith, I know that's a big if because we really don't know what that ankle is going to do. If he's anything, he's an improvement. So then we start looking at Anthony Brown, who's a rookie last year. Played pretty damn good for a rookie. Now he's got a year under his belt. You got Byron Jones. Now has 2 years under his belt, and quietly was a very good player. Didn't get much credit or recognition, but he was actually pretty good. Orlando Scandrick, who I said last year that knee injury takes more than a year to really recover and really get it back together, not only physically but mentally. I know from my own personal experience that after I tore my ACL, every time you play in it, you thought about it. Every time you felt a little twinge, you thought about it. Every time somebody would get close to that knee, you thought about it. And it took time before you got back to just reacting and playing, because you get it in your head about that knee. Is it going to go? Is it okay? Am I going to get hit in there? That is just enough to let you get beat. So he admitted that, the knee was okay, but it wasn't quite there. So look for him to get back to some of the form that he had. And maybe some of this is just wishful thinking, and maybe it is. But these are the reasons why I feel we're okay. Yes, we lost players, but they couldn't bust a grape against Aaron Rodgers. So if I can lose with you, I can certainly lose without you. So that's where I'm hopeful. The other thing I still think is a wild card is, and we haven't touched on it tonight, is Tony Romo. At some point, Tony Romo is going to be gone. I don't think the Cowboys are doing him any favor, and I keep hearing everybody say, oh, well, it doesn't really matter because we won't get the money till June 1st. So why let him go? Because it's the right thing to do. After the draft, you start having OTAs, organized team activities. You start working out. You get the playbook. Guys will work out in Arizona and Florida and places like that with their guys without the team. Dak's already been working out for weeks in Florida. So the longer it takes for Tony Romo to actually get a team, the less time he's going to get ready. Because as some people said, they can wait till training camp till somebody gets hurt. Yeah, but for a guy who went out there with broken bones in his back, went out there and played for you with a lacerated spleen, was it? Or lacerated lung, hurried back from collarbone being broken. A guy who gave you everything. And a lot of times we need to have people around him. To me, you should do right by him, because for him to sit there and watch the team move away from him, for him to be ready after all he went through the year before, being injured and everything else, breaking a collarbone twice, having back surgery the year before, to think that you're ready coming into training camp and then you get hurt, and then a young guy comes and takes your place, and now all of a sudden you're not getting the panties anymore in Dallas. That girl is seeing another guy. And to equate it is like you're still living in a house with your ex-wife or your ex-girlfriend, and she's sleeping upstairs with somebody else. How would you feel? Wouldn't you like to be able to move on? Or do you want to continue to be right there in the middle of hearing them upstairs bumping and grinding? Because that's what it's really like right now for Tony Romo, at least in my mind. Maybe I'm wrong, but the guy said his goodbyes. The guy's ready to go. He did you right by not starting a quarterback controversy. Let the guy end his career the way he wants to. But what I think it is, Rick G, I don't know if it's Jerry Jones is cold-blooded. I think what he's trying to do is make Tony Romo retire. Because I don't think Jerry Jones wants to see him play for somebody else. And that's why he's just not releasing him. I think that's why he's making it difficult for him right now, because it's the ex-girlfriend syndrome. I don't want you, but I'd be damned if I want you to be with somebody else. And to me, it's really kind of sad. But hey, it is what it is. AA troll. Oh, I'm sorry. I haven't been watching the feed. Great metaphor. Oh, about the panties. Sorry. See, here's the thing. You guys know I'm old, okay? I am old, not old enough where they didn't have face masks or leather helmets, okay? But I'm old enough. So I've been through a lot. I've seen a lot. I've done a lot and everything else. And that's why I can relate all these things to different things that have happened in my life. And Jackie, I agree. See, here's the thing. With Denver basically saying, you know what? We're done. Because if you're an NFL team, at some point very soon, you got to make plans for the season. You can't just sit around and say, okay, we're going to get Tony Romo, we're going to get Tony Romo, and think, a month before the season, we're going to get Tony Romo, and we're going to be ready to play. It doesn't work out that way. It takes time to get to know the system, to get to know the players, to get to know the tendencies. Because the difference in football is that, winning and losing. It's that much. That much too soon, it's an incomplete pass. That much too late, it's an interception. If it's right on time, it's a touchdown. But it's literally that much makes the difference. So you got to just think about it, Tony Romo. A 5th, 4th, 6th round pick, it's not worth it. It's not worth the 3-ring circus. And that's where Jerry, it's time to let the man go. Just got to let him go. Please talk about ping pong Asian championship. What the hell? Nick almost cried for Romo there. I didn't mean to make you guys feel sad. Yeah, you're right. I do. Last week I was actually late calling in, man. It's kind of hard because normally what I used to do before we started live streaming here, the night of the show is I would be listening to the whole show, so I'm part of that whole situation and stuff. But I've got to the point where I'm addicted to you guys. I'm addicted to actually doing live streaming because I've got to the point now I'm like, it's Monday. I can't believe it's Monday. It's like, Mark, you're a freaking idiot. Mondays suck because it's the weekend is over and you got to go back to work. But I'm happy because I got the Benet Emery show and I have all of you guys here to talk with about my favorite thing, football. And that's actually the show right there. They're going on right now. I call in 6 minutes. And I'm going to be talking about Jordan Willis and Terrell Besham, as well as Tony Romo. So you're probably going to hear same stuff we've been talking about, hopefully without the technical difficulties that we had before. I'll tell you what, tomorrow I will look at TJ Watt. That will be my video tomorrow because I've been seeing a lot of people talking about TJ Watt. The question is he living on his brother's fame or is he really that good? Make sure I'm going to try and get it done tonight, but Terrell Besham, that guy is going to be a beast. I hope we could get a guy like that. Maybe we'll get lucky and he'll fall down and we're able to step back and turn that pick into multiple picks. You never know how it's going to work out. I just pray that we do not move up in the draft. Excited for the live stream. I'm glad you are. TJ Watt, okay, Sven, you're pretty knowledgeable with football, buddy. I'm going to take your word for it, but I'm going to definitely check it out. Peppers, that'll be another one I'll do then the next day. He's another one that I'm actually pretty high on as well. That's the great thing. AA, I haven't seen AA. Is that Billy Goat? Because Billy Goat's got like 15 different aliases. Billy, I hope you're doing okay, man. Billy Goat is a shapeshifter. What's the show in the background? David, that is the Benet Emery show. I've actually been doing this show. It's in Dallas, internet program, for about 3 years now. And just a quick thing about me. I'll be honest with you. The fact that I do YouTube is still amazing. The fact that I do a radio show, to me, is still amazing. Because in high school, hard time speaking in public. If I had to do a report, I could practice it and it would be 5 minutes long. By the time I got up there, Literally, it was 30 seconds. I was like, okay, I'm done. He's just like, yeah, you got 4.5 minutes left. But for whatever reason, I still equated to doing Jobu because I used to just do pictures of Jobu, or I'd have Jobu and do the camera and stuff with it. It just got me better and better and better at it. So this is actually something I really enjoy. Like I said, Bidet Emery Show, we've been doing it for 3 years. And I've got 4 minutes before I have to get ready to call in and do my spot. And it's a progressive show, all varying topics and so on. I do the Jobu Sports Report, and I'm on for about 7-8 minutes or so, or sometimes longer if there's something major going on. And we're growing in popularity. We're on actually a new platform, Vogel, which is growing and doing really, really well. So hopefully, maybe one day we'll be on Sirius, but we'll see. Billy Goat is really a female sheep. Whoa. Boy, everybody's going after Billy Goat. I guess I can't believe it. Sarah, it's the truth. Believe it or not. And this is the thing that's crazy. People don't believe that I'm shy. Seriously. I am very, very shy. Mark is Mexican. No, actually, you know what? I'm actually a mutt. I'm black. I got some Irish. I got American Indian, and who knows whatever else. But you know what? I'm an American. That's all. You know, it doesn't really matter where you're from, but I'm an American. And we are a great melting pot, and I'm truly a melting pot. Free Rick G. Okay. Free Romo. Yeah, that's probably is. That's definitely true. But we've had very few trolls lately. We've been having basically really serious football people in here, which has been kind of cool. Although we have been having some Eagle sightings. They're beginning to come out. We've got a few Giant fans that have been coming out as well of the woodwork. And I don't mind that. Everybody can have a voice on the show. Okay, I got 1.5 minutes before I'm on. Let me get some of my good old rum and Kahlua there. Well, I got to tell you, how about them Cowboys? We're all melting pot. We are all a little bit of everything, and especially the way society is now. Before, we're all just going to be muddled up, and that's fine by me. All must stand up. Pretty much everybody's going to stand up. If you actually, I'll tell you what's real cool. I'm just killing some time here before I get ready to go on the show. If you watch the video that I did Sunday of the cherry blossoms going downtown, take a look at the different nationalities of people. You got black, white, Hispanic, you got Asian. You have all kinds of people all out doing the same thing, enjoying the day. And as Americans, that's what we all want. We all pretty much want the same thing. We want our kids to do good. We want the kids to go to good schools. We want to have a good job. We want to enjoy ourselves. We want to see our Cowboys win. And if you're an Eagle fan, you want to see them actually win a Super Bowl. But sorry. But we all have the same hopes and dreams. And I don't care if you're black, white, Asian, Hispanic, old, young, rich, poor, whatever. We all have basically the same hopes, dreams, and desires. And I wish we could all get that point across and understand that we're all freaking people. And basically, we're all the same. Now, there are some crazy ones out there now, and we're not going to talk about the Eagles fans, but you get what I'm talking about. So it is time for me to call in to the show. Getting ready to go on live.
Everything about his movies are all Tyler Perry. Tyler does it. That's why you don't see a screening of a Tyler Perry movie, or you don't really see a lot of critic reviews of Tyler Perry movies. He doesn't let his movies get reviewed by critics.
Yeah, because they suck.
Well, because he basically the audience that he's tailoring the movie
and
they're gonna come out.
And his audience is gonna always be the same type of audience, and he's gonna make money whether the critics say yay or nay.
But you know what? Hold on just a second, Mark. Who do you? To me, that's business. It could be. You could.
Like James say, Tyler keeps all his money.
But you can call it business. But if I want to appeal to more than just this certain amount of people.
No.
Because if that's the case, then why not act in a certain amount of films? He will star in his own movies, but he also has been on Star. He's been in Star Trek. You're not making a movie to make friends. You're making a movie to make money. No, I'm not saying to make friends, but I'm talking about the appeal. Do you want to just be categorized as this type of movie director? If you go out and make a movie and make $100 million, what do you care?
He doesn't care.
What do you care?
He does not care.
If somebody that's white or Hispanic don't watch your movie, if you done made $100 million, do you give a damn?
And
we got a director right here. What do you think? Do you want to who do you want to appeal to?
Everybody.
At the end of the day, you do want to get a profit off of the movie. And that is one of the goals, is to get a profit out of the movie so you can continue to make more movies.
Mm-hmm.
And what Tyler Perry does is genius to keep it all under his umbrella. Because you don't have to change anything on his script. You don't have to, hey, can you kind of tweak this scene?
Take this scene out, put this scene in. We don't like that. We don't think that the audience would like this. We want to know that.
So having control over your own projects, rewarding it is. And
I was just talking about the appeal factor. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to come back with more of Dalton Glover, but right now, I've been waiting on this all week. I'm nervous. I'm scared. We don't have no damn secondary. Our two top corners are gone. But Mark has the answers, and he's going to tell you why not to worry, Cowboy Nation, because right now, I'm worried about our defense. Ladies and gentlemen, CowboyJobu himself, Mark Holmes. What's happening, Mark?
Listen, man. Until I say hold on.
Oh, you take a shot.
Bartender.
There you go, Mark.
Jobu needs a refill. Okay. Until I tell you I'm worried about our defense, don't worry, man. All right. We have some
Mark,
really good parts. Listen, I told you last week, man. We had guys that couldn't bust a grape against Aaron Rodgers. We can lose with those guys. We can lose without them. Right or wrong?
I still say J.J. Wilcox hurt.
J.J. Wilcox hurt, yes. But here's the thing. You've got a defensive full draft. And I still want to tell you, to me, the defensive line is the key. We've had decent corners. Now, everybody will say our corners and everything suck. But here's the problem is they're having to hold up for 6, 7, 8 seconds at a whack. When you're only getting 30 sacks on average over the last 5 years, you're not doing jack on that defensive line to help out your secondary. And that's where they have to go. And the great thing is this draft, where we can finally focus in on defense, is full of great pass rushers. Now, I'm doing a new thing on my YouTube channel because people have been wanting me to do mock drafts, and I'm just not a mock draft guy. But I'm focusing in on guys that the Cowboys are bringing in and telling you what their strengths and weaknesses are. One of these guys, Jordan Willis from K-State, 6'4", 260 pounds, ran a 4.53 40 at the combine. And he is a beast. He's shot up cat. Jordan Willis.
I don't know. I said he ran a 4.5 at 260.
At 4.53 at 260, 6'4". Yeah, 39-inch vertical leap. Now he was projected to be like originally a second or third round pick, but he's moving up because of the combine. That's one of the guys the Cowboys have brought in and definitely interested him. Another one, and I'll have a video up for this later on tonight. And like I said, check out some of the videos because I'm bringing you insights and giving you some of the things I see on the tape. But Terrell Besham, another 6'4", 262-pound guy, ran a 4.7 40. So these guys are lean, they're big, but they're fast, and they are literally shot out of a cannon. This guy has hands that are 10.25 inches across. And when he grabs a hold of a guy, you ain't going nowhere. The guy tackles to perfection. And these are great kind of guys that are out there that I think we're going to be able to get. We can get one or two of these guys on that defensive line and get lucky with some help on the guys that we already have. Our defense is going to be better than most people think.
Well, Mark, you haven't been wrong. What, 3 years since you've been on the show, man. But again, that seems like we don't have because we still got Romo's contract. Not only that, is is he gonna be able to pick over for what are they gonna do with him? Are they gonna put him at which one retired? What one retired?
Doug Free.
the 3. So they got to fill the 3 spot.
Yeah.
And then the guy that they went to
Ron Leary. Yeah, Ron Leary. Yeah. Yeah, but we're okay right now. Right now we're okay. We've signed a few linemen and stuff like that. We've got Collins, who will be a beast on the line again because he's going to be healthy as well. And we're going to end up having God, I can't think of his name right now. We're going to have these guys that are basically fighting out for the tackle spot. And if they don't work out, Collins will move out to tackle. We're going to be okay on the offensive line. As far as Tony Romo's contract goes, a lot of people are saying, well, you're not in a rush to get rid of him because you're not going to get the money for him being released until June 1st, which depending on how you go with it, you can cut him today and have $5.6 million, but you don't really need it right now because there's no real free agents you want right now. Or you could release him and say he's going to be a June 1st cut. I was saying to my followers here that I think it's a tragedy what they're doing because Tony Romo, it's kind of like you broken up with your wife, but you're still living in the house with her and her new man. You know what I'm saying? So they're upstairs bumping and grinding, and you're hearing them knowing that she's moved on, but you don't have any place to go.
Well, I read one story that said if he doesn't choose him, that he'll just retire.
Well, pretty much Denver said, we're tired of waiting. It's done. It's over with. We're going to deal with the guys we have. And the Texans are basically the only game in town that really are looking at him. So at some point, they're going to go ahead and say, you know what, we're tired of waiting and got to move on.
And what is the contract? Have it, or what is this? Why is that?
Well, what it is, you can't wait forever. Walk in and play well. We went through that with Matt Cameron. So you need to get him there to start working out, start learning the playbook, start learning the guys and stuff around him. If he's not on a team before, start missing out on OTAs and all these workouts and stuff, because the agreement is now you don't really practice. You only have so many games where you're actually in pads and actually are working out. So you will be so far behind the curve that it's going to be just screwed up.
So you think the Cowboys, they're going to draft defensive line? What order? So defensive line, maybe linebacker, corner, then safety?
Well, with the Cowboys, here's the thing. You never know what they're going to do. But defensive line, I would say first, if the right guy's there. If you end up seeing a balls to the wall safety or cornerback, they're going to go for that. It's going to be the best player on the defense possible, I think, first. And that could be a safety, and it could be a defensive lineman. I'm hoping it's a defensive lineman because I've always said you get your biggest bang for the buck with your defensive lineman, because if you get a great pass rusher, he's helping out your cornerbacks because they're not having to hold up for 7-8 seconds like they did against Aaron Rodgers. He makes your linebackers stay clean where they're able to make plays. So one guy can make a hell of a difference on the defensive line. One guy doesn't make as much of an impact at cornerback.
All right, Mark. Right. Real quick, before we get to sports. You actually got a fan mail. It was addressed to James, but I want to ask you your opinion on this.
Oh, Lord.
So this is the situation. A lady emailed. She said that, she's not racist. She works with people of all colors, creed, religion, and she doesn't care about any of that stuff. But her daughter came home with blonde-haired, blue-eyed guy. And she said she's saying that she's not comfortable with that. So being that I have a daughter, you have a daughter, James has a daughter, how would it feel? I mean, does that bother you? Who you daughter?
Well, here's the
color?
Thing. You know what? Basically, I was just talking before we got online here that because somebody asked that I was Mexican, and I said basically I'm a mutt. Because all of us are pretty much a little bit of everything. I got, African in me. I've got Irish in me. I got American Indian, and who knows whatever else. And at some point, because everybody is screwing everybody, we're all going to be muddled. What I look for is my daughter happy? That's the bottom line. And does that person treat her with respect and is somebody that I can depend on? I don't look at anybody as black, white, or whatever, because I know some black people that aren't worth a damn, but I know some of the greatest people in the world. And the same thing about white people. You have to judge each person on their own character, their own faults, and all of the good things about them. So you can't look. We have to get past looking at color. At least that's my personal.
Well, my whole thing is, I see what you're saying. Now, me personally, if my daughter said, I'm only going to date white guys, I'm only going to date Hispanic guys or whatever, I would have a problem with that. Like you, if she so happens to find him and he's not black, okay, if she's happy, of course, I would prefer to be with a black dude because I'm black, both her grandfathers are black, and so on and so forth.
Right.
But it's her choice and her life. So I do agree with what you said. Me and James were talking about this a little bit earlier before we got into, because our colleague told him, be prepared about this.
Yeah. Well, here's the other thing you got to realize, too. The more you push against your kids and say no, guess what they're going to do? The exact opposite. Did I lose you? I bet I must have lost you. I don't know why I'm having a bad feed tonight. Well, you guys at least saw the end of the Benet Emery show and had a great little conversation there. I wish that we as people could get past color because, I'm a black guy. I got Hispanic people that are watching right now. I got white people. I've got people from Europe, Germany, everywhere else in the world. We're all people, and we all should be able to get on. Here we go. Boy, this is strange. Yeah, you guys are back. I've had some problems with my stream tonight. I apologize. Are you guys still there? Okay. Like I said, I wish that we could all get past color and stuff, but with kids, the more you push against them, the more they're going to go the other direction. So if she goes home that I don't want you dating that guy, it's going to be F you, mom, he's my boyfriend, and she's going to make sure she stays with him just to make sure that she's doing what she wants to do. Well, every Monday night on the Benet Emery Show, please check out my Jobu Sports Report JSR Mark Holmes YouTube channel. We're getting close to 8,000 subscribers, and hopefully we'll have 9,000 before the draft. I break down a lot of the players and stuff we have. All the news on the Dallas Cowboys is right there. And, of course, on Facebook, CowboyJobu.
See you same time next week, homie.
That's right, and I'll get the bugs ironed out for you. All right. Bye-bye. Okay, so I've had all kinds of technical difficulties tonight, guys, and I apologize for that. Hopefully I can get them ironed out. I think I'm going to have to get a booster signal for the Wi-Fi down here, or maybe it's Verizon's problem, but we'll get it straightened out. But for whatever reason, time always just seems to fly. I can't believe it's been an hour that we've been here together talking. And unfortunately, I got to get up at 5 a.m. to go to work. So I'm going to have to end this broadcast. I will be back here Friday night, 9 o'clock Eastern time. So that way we can talk about whatever's going on with the Dallas Cowboys. Maybe we'll have something resolved with Tony Romo. Maybe we'll have a free agent signing. Maybe we'll have who knows what. But we'll definitely be talking about it here on the Jobu Sports Report. And I want to thank each and every one of you guys and girls for joining in and being part of the Dallas Cowboys mojo. And thank you as always. And you know what? Jobu's about to need a refill.